Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I had a little bit of a tech issue, so I am having to redo this video, and there was no way I could redo what I've already done, so we are just going to do the same thing on the back. But before I get into that, I recently had a bright idea to cut a composition notebook into a coffin shape. So here I am at my heavy duty paper trimmer, and I had already drawn out the shape of the coffin that I wanted. I used a white jelly roll pen, so I'm just trimming off the pieces to get to the coffin shape. I wanted to also keep the composition notebook as wide as possible and use as much of the spine as possible so that it would still be sturdy and wide enough that it would be worth writing in. And this is what the finished coffin shape looks like as a composition notebook, or composition notebook as a coffin. This is before I put the cover on. So this is how the front cover came out. I used a paper that had like a cross in the middle, so I thought that would be cool on the coffin. But the audio of showing how I did that is messed up, so we're going to do the same thing on the back. And then I think we'll have to come back in another video to do the inside, because I'm not sure what look I want for the inside, and I want to have some time to think about it. But I did want to just jump on this while I was excited about it, and I had an idea of what I wanted to do for the cover. So I really wanted to just jump on this and get the cover done because I had this idea and I wanted to see if it would work. It did. So let's go ahead and do the same process on the back so that you can see how I did it. So I've already chosen this paper pad called Dark Romance. It is by Die Cuts with a View. It's pretty old. I think it's from 2013, if I remember. Yeah, 2013. But Die Cuts with a View papers are, I bought this from Joann, I'm sure. They usually have years of different papers by Die Cuts with a View in Joann. So this is just kind of a quick look at what the paper looks like. Oh, I like this one. Did I use that for something else? Yep, I sure did. Okay, so some of the pages are gone because I have used them on other projects, but I had not used this, which I'm glad I hadn't. So I'm gonna tear this out. This book is falling apart because it's pretty old, and it's been used, not a lot, but it has been used. Okay, so I'm gonna try to repeat the same thing that I did on the front. I'm gonna try and do the same thing on the back. And hopefully I can get everything lined up the same as well, or close. So this is kind of what I did, and I wanted to make sure that the cross somewhat fell in the middle. I mean, it's not, the paper is not really a cross, but because of the way the print is on the paper, it can be interpreted as that. So that's what we're going with. So I'm just going to lightly trace around. Hopefully I have the cover in a good position to get that cross look that I want. And keeping in mind that part of this side is going to come off, so it's not going to look quite in the middle, but I'm just looking at the design to see if I can get it mostly in the middle. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut about 1 inch away from the lines that I drew. I have to start remembering to check to make sure that my battery is good in my mic. That's why I lost that previous footage, because the battery went kaput. I was sitting down ready to edit, and I was like, oh no, because the audio had lots of static in the background. I wish there was something on my camera that would notify me and let me know, but there isn't, and I just did that wrong. Let me stop talking. I didn't need to cut all of this on this side, but I did learn a little something from doing the other side. So I didn't need this. Let's trim it off as straight as possible. And then I'm gonna angle this because I had to do a little patchwork on the front cover. So maybe if I do this here, I won't have to do that patchwork or so much of it. Maybe. Okay. So I am still gonna have to trim off more of this to allow for the black book tape binding on this. So let's see. I'm thinking we want to go like here. And I really should be cutting on a flat surface. Let's do it instead of being lazy. Yep, about 3/4 of an inch off is what I need. So I'm just trying to line up what I cut. And I'm not going to go all the way up. I hope I'm doing this right. If I need to cut this off later, I will. But I think I should leave some on, like I said, because of the issue I had before. So I'm going to leave that just like that. Let's go ahead and see if this is going to work. Get rid of my scraps. I think it will. Ooh, that's not quite straight though. So I do need to cut it up a little bit more. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it up to here. So I guess I will have to do the patchwork again. But I'm just going to leave that little piece on there. And I think we can go ahead and start gluing. Even though my cross isn't quite centered, if you look at it without the book, the binding gives the illusion that it is, that maybe part of the design is up under the book tape. So it's basically the same thing here. This side is of the cross area is smaller than this side. This one might be a little bit smaller, but oh well, I did my best. All right, let's go ahead and tape this up, and hopefully I can do a good job at this, where before I was kind of all over the place. But we're going to try and get as close to the book tape as possible without going over. Okay, and then I like to do the edges first and then fill in. Now I had a little, this didn't cut quite right when I was using the heavy duty paper trimmer. On the cut on the bottom, I don't think I had the book held down tight enough, and it's got like a little notch cut out of it where it shouldn't be, but I think we can get past that. I think I'm going to use the smaller tape. You can use this here. And you can use any size double-sided tape. You can use wet glue. I just prefer the double-sided tape because then I don't have to worry about air bubbles, at least on the cover, because the inside and outside cover get the most wear and tear. So I feel like the double-sided tape gives a more sturdy cover. I don't know. It may not be true, but that's the way I see it. And it's just, I like that I don't get air bubbles. Okay. Sitting up a little higher so I can get better angles. I can't believe I missed that little corner right there. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. It'll be fine. Let's continue. So yep, this is a little more tricky putting the tape down, but I think it's worth it in the end. Of course, like I said, you can use, I probably should have used a smaller piece of tape here, but I didn't think of it. But yeah, you can use wet glue. It's no big deal. Also keep in mind that the die cuts with a view paper is heavier than, like, say, your Michael's cardstocks or scrapbook papers. This paper is quite a bit heavier. I am gonna fill that in, but I'll just go ahead and take the backing of it off. That way I won't forget, because that probably would have been a better piece, because I tend to forget to take the backings off. Okay. Burnish it down. You can use your bone folder for this. I like to use the ruler because it covers more ground quickly. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see about getting this on here. I'm going to fold that up so I can see. I didn't get that quite straight when I cut it. So we'll have to compensate for that. There we go. Make sure all that's down good. Oh, where's that one little piece? Let's take this off now so I don't forget. So kind of the trick is the tapes, see, like I shouldn't have took that one off yet. The tapes that are on top of other tapes need to be taken off after the tapes underneath them. Hopefully that makes sense. That helps them from crinkling up on each other, onto themselves rather. But yeah, I'm not following my own advice here. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little of the art glitter glue and put close to the edge. So that'll give me time to get my paper lined up the way that it needs to be. And let's go for it. Let's see, I guess I will fold it that way so I can see better. So I need to allow that inch at the bottom, but I also need to make sure that I get all the way to that book tape, all the way down the page. Just press that down. Get my paper towel, get any glue seepage because I was a little heavy-handed with the glue. Okay, that seems good. Let's get in here, make sure we're not missing any tape. Go ahead and get this off. And this piece, and then these 3 pieces. And any open spaces that you have, if you use tape, you can always add a little bead of glue just in case, like that one little piece that I added before. I think I got all the backings off, so let's go ahead and press this down. Okay, I think I lined it up pretty well. The back isn't as nice as far as where the cross lays as the front, but it's still pretty good, I think. And that's how that works. All right, so now we got that on. I'm going to do a wrap cover. I guess I should have mentioned that before, which is why I left the approximate inch all the way around. This got glued down and it wasn't supposed to. Oops. Let's see if we can get that back. Probably not. I got it. All right, let's go ahead and burnish this down. Since I'm making a mess, let's burnish it. I didn't do that. All right, so that's down. Let's move on to this. I'm going to use my bone folder and use the cover shape as a guide to score up against the cover edge to get the paper ready and trained to fold. So I just hope to eliminate any cracking. It worked on the front. Hopefully it will work on this side too. And I think I'm going to end up cutting that off. Okay, so just like what happened in the Petals and Blooms cover that I did, because I'm stopping at the spine and I am wrapping, I'm going to have a whole space right here that has nothing on it. So for the front cover, I used some washi tape to cover it, and I think I'm going to do the same here. I wanted to use a thinner washi, but because of the size of the space, the thicker washi worked better. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is some of that washi that I kind of want to get rid of because it is the washi with the backing on it, which I do not like because of storage issues. You got to figure out a way to keep it from unraveling. And then this part, peeling off that backing. Could probably use my pokey tool to do it. There we go. So I pretty much got to poke a hole in the tape to get it off the backing. All right, so there we go. All right, and then I'm going to put a little glue stick. I'm using Scotch Create glue stick. And because I don't trust the washi stick, it's not meant to be permanent. So let's scoot this up some more. I could scoot it all the way to the edge if I can get it back. No, let's not do that. And I mentioned in the previous video, before I go any further, let me mention it again. So when I did the short video, I'll try to link to it in the iCard. When I did the short showing this initially, I asked, should I do a dark or gothic look or traditional fun Halloween look? I'm already working on projects with both themes, so I was kind of leaving it up to you all to decide. I think the majority was dark or gothic, but I'm not going to go too dark, as you saw the paper pad that I'm using. So I was also thinking that I could take this dot grid notebook from Dollar Tree and convert it into a coffin look. And because it has dot grid, it wouldn't really matter as far as the lines being a little wacky. And then I could do something, a small project, making this one into a fun Halloween. So if you are interested in that, let me know in the comments, and I can maybe somewhat do that along with this one. And yeah, so let me know if you want to go that route. Okay, and I did the fun Halloween project that I'm working on is the flip flop journal. It is on my other channel at Journal Life's Journey. I'll link the channel link is in the description box below. So I'm just trimming this tape as best as I can. All right, let's do this one. I really need my smaller scissors, but I have taken them somewhere else. They're not here. My fussy cutting scissors. Ooh, that was a horrible cut. Let's try these fancy schmancy scissors from Your Creative Studio. Let's see if I can get in there and cut that a little better. Maybe I should wait until I fold. I'm gonna wait until I fold over the wrap. Let's do that last. Okay, let's go ahead and miter. I'm gonna use the smaller scissors since I got them out. So I'm just gonna see how that's not cut straight right there, but we're gonna try and ignore that. So I'm just gonna miter the corners, so cut them at an angle so we won't have bulk when we fold it over. I leave about 1/8 of an inch away from the cover edge. If you cut it too close, then you'll have an exposed little corner right there. So you don't want to cut it too close. You have to kind of allow for the thickness of the cover and the paper having to fold over that thickness. Okay, so like that. And like this. Then this is a little weird over here, but let's see if we can make it work. So the kind of the idea is to make these little tabs that will fold over and into the inside. So this would have been enough almost to cover that, but not quite. I think I'm just going to leave that and cut this piece off. Not going to be quite cut right. Let's see. But I can trim that up when I trim up the washi tape too, because I think I can see that. Yeah. So we can work on that. All right. So let's start folding up our little tabs. Let's work on this. Now this one is a little tricky because it's not straight, but I'm going to try and make it straight. Let's see. I think that works. So let's go ahead and burnish that. Fold this one up carefully. Let's push in those corners. I might have to do a little inking on this. And then this one. Okay. So even though I used the tape on the cover, on the inside to glue down the tabs, I am going to, let's see, I think I'm going to glue this one down first. Nope, I'm going to glue this one down first. I'm going to use the art glitter glue. I think it should hold. If it doesn't hold for you, try Fabri-Tac or even hot glue if you're efficient with it. I'm not that great with hot glue. So, but yeah, I'll use Fabri-Tac on the inside cover piece. So if there's any issue, it will hold these little tabs in place that I'm using the art glitter glue on. And I think I wanted to put this one. Nope, I didn't want to go like this. Nope, I did want it to go inside. I'm just seeing how my corner is looking. That corner isn't that great. I think the paper tore a little bit. Let's get rid of that. Might have to do a little inking on it. So that one can go down, then this one goes down. But that's trying to come up, see? Get your edges good. Alright. This one is kind of one that's wonky. A little bit. And then this one. It's funny, I didn't have problems with my corners on the front. Okay. So let's burnish everything. I think we are good. Now let's clean this up. Let's try these. It's so hard to get to it. I think that's pretty good. All right, I'll probably hit that with a little black, let's see, I think I have one here. A little bit of black Sharpie just to cover that, because it's not, I don't know why it's like that, but it's showing up awfully white. Probably should have inked the edges of the paper before I put it down too, because I'm seeing white edges. But all right, I think that's a little better. So there we have it, the front and the back. The front cross came out better, I think. I really do. I think this one is tilted a little bit. Oh well, can't have everything. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to take my kneaded eraser. If you're interested in a kneaded eraser, I'll try to find them on Amazon and link to them below. And if you shop in the craft store, you should be able to find them in the art department. But these are really great erasers to erase your pencil lines because they don't mar the paper. They look like clay, You stretch them out and reshape them and do all kind of things, make all kind of shapes with them. So if you need to get into like a small little place, you can, you know, shape it to what you need. But yeah, I usually just tear off one little piece. I think this is a quarter of the one that I have. I just cut a quarter of it off and I'll use it until I lose it or it's no good. And it's just, you can't salvage it. But that is the cover. I think it came out okay. I can't be too picky. Plus it will have another overlay cover, I think. So this is kind of just our base cover. And again, I'm not doing the inside covers yet because I don't know what look I want. I have an idea, but I'm not sure. But I chose this color because it's like a natural color, gives vintage vibes. And yeah, it's just not just black. I didn't want to just do black. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What would you like to see on the inside cover? I was thinking kind of like a reddish color, give it like a vampire-y look, and then whatever I put as the overlay will be black probably. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the footage of me doing the front cover. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.